What do you mean changed?
So because they changed the trailer. I mean, they completely redid Sonic. But then when you do a side-by-side comparison of the trailers, there's
Okay.
like,
And I didn't have to shut down the stream.
oh, that's
How'd you fix it?
Unplugged it and plugged it back in.
Sweet.
Have you tried turning it off and on again?
Well, I did just on everything else, but just I thought it was just OBS acting up, but apparently it was not going into the computer.
Mm.
So it is in the recorder though.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
That's completely separate.
Nice.
If you
Are
can,
you sure?
That's why I'm asking too. So Colin doesn't have to have a hard job editing.
bars moving,
All right, we're good to go. We have selected.
and the light is solid.
We've selected the correct input device. The light is solid.
All right.
We don't
I
look
guess we
like
can
idiots
start
running
now.
around Comic-Con interviewing people.
And now we'll go to the interviews we did, and it's just dead air.
You joke, but that happened.
But you actually posted dead air?
No.
Oh, see, that would be the funny part. And then
No, we
you
recorded,
cut
like-
in. It's like,
We recorded like 5 different interviews, and I never switched the recorder to the onboard mic. It was still wanting the line in like what we do for recording here, and so I just recorded a bunch of nothing.
That's terrible. Oh my god.
So I had to email all those creators and be like, "Sorry, lost the interview."
Oh my gosh.
But you had
There were
that
like
experience.
there were like some really cool people we
Yeah.
interviewed, man. I mean,
That's a shame.
I still get
Right.
emails from some of them.
that's cool.
Oh, there was one other thing I wanted to do.
Start the show?
Oh, there you go. I was going to post it in Slack, but Beetle already did.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did. He's great.
All right.
I put a little happy emoji react thing.
Beatles, our new intern.
I'm okay with that. I don't know.
Oh, who's the
You talking about John and Emily who were the fact checking last time?
No, in like all the Dice Tower live streams, there's that one person. It's some Japanese sounding.
I don't know.
But they're like, they became a mod because they were always on stream.
All right.
That's interesting that not all of them have key.
Because he hasn't set them.
Well, that's stupid.
Well,
Because what if you want to do, are you kidding? Or however it is that it goes, because it's not that inflection.
touch it?
I'll just touch it.
Are you kidding? Told you it wasn't that inflection I did. Okay, let's go.
Okay. Start the wait, are we sure that the everything's set?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I've got buttons now.
Okay. All right, we'll get this train rolling in 3, 2, 1. This podcast is made possible thanks to patrons. I screwed up. I was going to have it up in front of me, and I forgot.
Lubberty dubber.
There we go.
Womp, womp, womp.
All right. 3, 2. This podcast is made possible thanks to people like Jordan, who went to patreon.com/boardsandSwords and helped us out. Live from Swordplay Studios, it's time for Boards and Swords.
Now with buttons.
Let's see if it eliminates any issues.
Nope.
It will eliminate some.
You say that right after we tried starting the show with no sound.
Well, I meant soundboard issues. I should have specified. Excuse me.
Also, feel free to just cut off the end of my Patreon add-in thing there, because those transitions are always awkward.
Except for now,
I
you just talked
usually-
about it over the music.
Yeah, that was the point.
I usually cut out most of it right there.
Okay. Hey, everybody, and welcome to Boards and Swords. This is a podcast where we have fun talking about board games. I'm one of your hosts. My name is Chris.
I'm Cindy.
I'm Colin.
And I'm Felipe.
And I'm all by myself, apparently.
What?
Well, like there was that big pause there. That
Because
once
Philip
again,
was being immature.
and once again, Colin can't edit it out
Which is
because there was
nothing
music
new,
in the
but-
background.
Yeah,
Whatevs.
I think he does that intentionally.
Probably.
What?
Like, we're doing too good. We need to bring it down a notch.
We should. We should.
You just did, man.
This is becoming like really classy and professional. We gotta knock that off.
So how's everybody?
Doing good.
Tired.
You tired?
Shout out to anyone if they're in the chat room. Whoop whoop.
Yep. And let us
Yay.
know if you're tired too.
That's
Yeah.
right.
We don't really mention it, so I'm gonna just throw it in here that for some people that don't know that we stream every other week at 7 p.m. Eastern time over at boardsandswords.com/live. There's even a calendar there if you can see which Wednesday. There's a calendar.
Although we're
Mm.
off this week or next week.
Yeah, I got to change that.
If you get a biweekly paycheck, just sync it up with when you get paid.
There you go.
Pretty
Yeah.
much.
It's like, oh yeah, Boards and Swords is after I get paid, or
There you
it's
go.
before I get paid. It's brilliant.
Brilliant.
And then I can go to patreon.com with my paycheck.
There you go. See, that's what he's leading into.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man. So instead of just going straight into the news, I thought that we could chill and be like, "Hey, how's it going?
Oh yeah.
What have you been up to, Philip?"
Being contagious.
That's good.
And then
You
he
play
just,
in
and
real
then he
life,
just touched me.
real life pandemic.
Yeah, playing real life pandemic.
I just want to get sick.
I had the
Give me my cubes back.
Oh my gosh.
I had the gingivitis.
Gingivitis. Oh my gosh. That's funny. That didn't work.
I've actually played a lot of games in the past 2 weeks.
Have you?
Yeah. Like there was that
That's
whole
surprising.
I know cuz normally there isn't.
Oh yeah, you did the extra life.
I did the extra it turns out you can get I posted this on Twitter. You can get a lot of board gaming done on a Sunday when you start gaming at 5 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah.
Like I played like 5 games like it's only 2 o'clock.
5 games by 2 o'clock.
That's 9 hours.
Okay, maybe it was more than and I don't remember.
I'm just teasing you.
Well, I mean,
Well,
you
you gotta
You
imagine-
got some long form games in there.
Well,
Oh,
who
I know.
knows?
I know.
There's
That's why I'm
also-
teasing him.
There's also the fact of you got to spend how much time of everybody sitting around going, okay, how are we going to do this?
What
how
are we
many
gonna
groups?
play
What are we going to
next?
play? How many groups do we break into?
Yeah, it's like a half hour to decide what game is next.
Yeah.
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 So you're right. That is impressive.
And while you're in that half hour, you should break out like a really small form game and just play that real quick.
Mm-hmm.
No, we need to
Nice.
make a game because there's like the game that's like start player that like it's a game to figure out who goes first
Yes.
in the game.
Yeah.
There needs to be a game to figure out who's in what group for
I would love that. I
Oh,
would
yeah.
back that.
like you play the game and then at the end of it there is some sort of like
Group
there's
activity.
there's an A team and a B team
Mhm.
and then you're like, okay, these are our groups. Now we know we can figure out games based on that.
Your credit wasn't good enough for the A team. We're the B team.
Yeah.
So you played a lot of games.
I did play a lot of games. Tried out that new Horrified game.
Oh yeah.
That was cool.
I've seen people putting the little figures in there. Did you play with figures or was
Yes.
it just stock
well,
components?
no. Okay, so we did have stock components, but there are some figures.
It's like people get them at Walgreens. I heard.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's
Wait,
like
what?
black and white. Like they're like pop figures, but
Oh, okay.
for the monsters.
Oh, that the game itself comes with some minis,
Okay.
like for the monsters.
Hmm.
Yeah, we just didn't have it for us. I think we had standees.
Is there anything that
I wanna say-
Walgreens doesn't have?
They have a lot now.
You always you walk in there. It's,
Low prices.
why is this even here?
It's like I didn't know I needed this, but I'm buying it.
But yeah, I even got I got to actually play Batman with somebody.
Ooh,
Oh, cool.
nice.
That was fun.
Only one other victim.
Well, no, that was me and our friend Matt Rudy versus Bryce.
Ah.
He got to play the villain. It's kind of weird because he spent the whole time like trying to kill us and not furthering his objective. So we ended up winning because there's the caveat. It's an objective-based game, so the villain wants to be like, well, I'm just going to surround them and then try and take them out, but you only get so many activations or whatever. And
If he happens to kill you, does he automatically win?
well, that's the thing is you can't kill the heroes.
Oh, okay.
You can just basically
Prevent them from winning.
Yes, because what happens is you basically prevent them from acting if they're dead. Because your life is your action cubes, so the more you get hit, the more cubes get taken away.
Right.
So if you lose all your cubes, then basically you just spend your turn getting cubes back, and then you can't do anything.
According to Overwatch, heroes never die.
I think you should swap out the cubes with like little batarangs.
Yeah, but there's
that?
all that you could, but there's all that it's so nice in the little
Forget the organization.
Well, no. I'm
Batarangs.
talking about in the little bat tablet thingy that they have that all the player boards.
So it's like a pixel on the screen kind of thing.
Well, it looks it's like about the size of like it looks like it's an iPad mini kind of thing board, and then you pull there's a piece of cardstock that fits in that's got all your player stats.
Okay. I feel like I'm throwing out some good ideas, so please, someone take notes.
I mean, you could custom player board it and just shape the openings like bangerangs.
Yeah.
Bangerang?
Bangerang.
I was thinking about that from the movie. Batarangs.
It made me feel like it's not officially supported, but that solo mode deck that I found, you could just make it into a really good co-op game and just have a bunch of people playing the heroes and then use the co-op deck for that. Unless you're going to do the villain versus mode thing.
So what's different about like one versus one instead of one versus all?
What do you mean?
You said like hero, villain.
Make
it sound like it was a different mode.
There is a different mode called versus mode. I don't know because there was like a special box I think you had to buy.
All right, I forgot the rule book. Right, I won't get into that.
Yeah. Well, also I think it's a different. Like it doesn't come in the base box. Like I think it's a special mode you have or box you have to have that does it, and basically, it makes it to where you are just straight fighting each other, and it's not objective based.
Okay.
I think. I
okay.
think.
I feel like that's needed.
What?
Just Batman wailing on someone.
Yeah. Well, that was the thing because they introduced all these new all these add-on minis you could get. So that you could get them, and then even if there's not an exact scenario for that configuration, you can be like, well, I'm just going to play versus mode, and I'm going to have all these heroes versus all your guys. And what was that?
Meanwhile, at the League of Evil.
Oh my gosh.
The Hall of Justice.
So what else did you play there?
A bunch of other. Everything else was just kind of like, eh.
Those are the highlights.
That was the highlight. Everything else was a lot of the. Okay, I mean, like I played 6 Nymph and like this other game called Rabbit Island, but that was just more of somebody else is like, hey, let's play this, and I'm like, okay.
Crap, I don't have an excuse. They can see I'm not in a game.
I did play Blood Bowl. I finally got taught Blood Bowl, and I lost horribly at it.
Regular Blood Bowl?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And lost horribly. I mean, I lost by 1 point, but we only played 1/2, and I just kind of gave it to him. So.
Oh, okay.
Cool. Well, we got a shipment in last week.
That's right.
Yeah, we've played a few games this recently, but
yeah, the big one though is
the solo game, right?
Solo game.
What?
You got it in Suburbia, right?
No,
that
that's
hasn't
I actually
come in
just
yet.
got a shipping notification before the show. So that's coming.
I'm so excited about that.
But no, Western Legends, we got all the expansion content, the new expansion content.
The
we
Ante-Up.
Yeah, Ante-Up and wild bunch of extras. And it came with, we ordered the add-on of the playmat.
Oh, yeah.
Which... the expansion added 2 extra boards, and the playmat just has all 3 boards together, and it has a whole bunch of stuff on it for where the decks of cards go and stuff. It's bigger than I think the Rising Sun playmat did this too. It's bigger than what the board is normally.
Yeah, they do that on purpose, I think.
So we actually can't play it inside the table. We have to play on top of the table to be able to fit everything.
Because it doesn't fit.
So that's one disadvantage, but...
Did that spur
But
our
we have a
topic today?
What?
No. That was side. Yeah.
Yeah, but no, this because you have a playmat, it's at least easier to grab cards.
Yeah.
So that's nice.
But yeah, this adds a whole bunch of stuff. You can rob the train now. There's a little train mini now too. It moves around the board. We keep forgetting to move it in the last game we played with it. We played twice with it so far.
We played it Friday and Monday.
Yeah.
So if you're not playing with the playmat, I'm assuming the playmat has the train on it. If you're not playing with the playmat, is there like a board that goes around or something now?
Yeah, there's two other boards.
There's two other boards, and there's
That
a
get
track on both of them that the train will follow.
Was there? There was a track on the bottom of the
There was,
main board. So how do you get
it
across?
goes from the bottom and it goes over to a bandit camp where the train track goes already, and then on the next board there's a tunnel that comes out of a mountain, and there's a track that goes there, and then it goes across the top, and then once it finishes at the top, it jumps down to the original train station.
It's like it's going through a tunnel kind of thing.
So yeah, you can rob the train. You can go and like discover frontier things. There's more ranch stuff. The Man in Black has been boosted in power.
Yeah, the Man in Black is the 2-player variant.
He's
It
the
adds
AI.
it adds an extra player, so just
And he
sort
can
of.
now blow up locations, basically.
He does. He destroys them.
And he can blow up 3 places, and we got all 3 of them in our second game.
And he blew up all 3.
All of them were gone.
It was bad.
It's all
One
gone.
was the doctor's office,
Yeah.
so we couldn't heal ourselves, and we were both very injured.
I was about to say, can I just be that guy?
Right?
Whenever I play the game.
That might get Chris into
Wait, you
want
to play it again?
No, only if I get to blow people up.
Oh, well,
There's
it's
a-
not people; it's places.
Actually,
whatever.
if it doesn't blow up the location, everyone that's in that town gets injured. So, kind of, sort of. I don't know. But there's also
I
events
thought it was
that happen.
if it blows it up, everybody in that area gets injured.
No, I think it's if it doesn't.
Oh, okay, whatever.
So yeah, also you can. There's events that can happen in there. Like different things will spawn at different places on the board. You can go and interact with them, and adds a whole bunch of stuff.
It really does.
Bunches of
The
stuff.
gambling, it adds Pharaoh.
Oh yeah. So it adds a new way to gamble. It's more of a game of chance than just regular poker. Cards are revealed, and then you choose what card you think is going to pop up as the winning card, and that's
It's
cool.
fun.
There's an additional track you can go down to get points, and in addition to the Marshall and Wanted track. It's all fun. It's all fun and games, extra stuff.
Mm-hmm. This was so when we played on Monday. It was the first time I've ever played as a wanted player.
Oh yeah,
It was pretty exciting.
yeah. She beat me both times we played.
I did.
She cheats.
I do not. I am not a cheater.
We'll see what happens in the game show she puts on.
What? Okay, fine.
I was-
Whatever.
Okay.
So yeah, that was Western Legends extra stuff. It's great.
Nice.
And
It
yeah,
is really good.
and 2-player is awesome now.
Yeah, it's much better than it was
That's
before.
the main point I want to have take away there.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we can move on to other stuff. So Chris
Well,
will listen again.
Yeah. So we stopped playing Charterstone on our campaign Monday nights
Why is that?
because we have it in there. If anybody's like really hating the game, we're not gonna like make them play it just to finish playing it out.
Mm.
And the problem is one of the players, it is just they've been in last place like every game for like the past 5 games,
Aw.
and every time they start to build up an engine, we end up just like the game's over.
Oh.
Yeah. So this is Mike.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was just like every
I
time.
wasn't gonna
Like
say it.
I've won like 3 times in a row, the past 3 times in a row, because I've got a pretty efficient engine going now.
Mm.
Like I'm not really trying to win. I'm just doing the things that I do.
I'm not even trying,
Well,
guys.
because the point in Charterstone, you really don't want to win multiple times because you get a bonus if you're not the winner.
Oh,
So you
okay.
really want to be like close in points, but not like top. Like
Mm.
really, if you could just like the person that would win the game would be as if you were if you could guarantee if you were in second place every single time, but there was a different first person every time,
Mhm.
you would probably win the game. Like the
Okay.
overall campaign, probably. So, but like after they played the past couple ones, he was just kind of, and we could tell it was just like, all right, Corey, Jimmy, and I will find a date. We'll just finish this on our own some point. So it's like, well, what are we gonna play now? And we played this On Friday, we played this. It was a board game RPG mix thingy.
Mm.
It was okay.
What was it called?
I don't remember. It was like I don't remember the name of it. I got it. Something Tales. The something.
DuckTales.
Woo.
I mouthed it,
Did
but
I
I didn't.
not?
The sound didn't come out.
Crap! I didn't
He didn't log the play.
I didn't log the play. Yeah, but it was some sort of Tales game. But basically, you drew cards off of a deck, and it built out a town. And then every card you went to had interactions, like a choose your own adventure page in a book.
Okay.
So when you went to a card, you flipped to that page in the book and read and did choices based on stuff. It was neat, but it drug out like way too long. Anyways, but when we were playing that and everybody was enjoying kind of the co-opiness of that, afterwards I said to Mike and Corey and Jimmy, I was like, well, if you liked that game, Arkham Horror, the card game, is very similar.
Oh my gosh.
And they were like, okay, we'll give it a shot. And I was like, yes.
And what do they think?
So I played it, and like I knew right off the bat this was going to be good when like Jimmy, like as soon as we're about to start, and Jimmy's like, wait, I want to read my character card. And read on the back of each card there's a story, which I had actually never read before.
I don't think I had either.
And we all had to go around and read the little blurb about our character.
Oh, that's fun.
And I was like, I think I found the right group for this. So we played it was 4 players, so it drug the game out.
Yeah, I
a
get
lot.
that.
Even this was just the Gathering one,
Oh.
the intro one.
The one we played?
Yeah,
Okay.
not the carnival.
Not the Rougarou.
Or the Rougarou. Yeah.
Yeah. The 3-part one.
Yeah. So, but that was fun, and I was just kind of like, so did you enjoy? They're like, yeah, I'd continue playing. I was like, yes, because I have this entire box over here full of stuff for it.
And
Yeah.
you can fill out your 10x10 spot.
The one spot that's gonna get filled on there.
It's
Yeah.
at least 10% done.
All right, with that, I think it's news time.
Oh.
And what?
I was just.
We can go back to that. Yeah.
Rude.
What? What
Say
did
what
you?
you can say.
So I want to say, last episode we talked about the games we want to play with our families,
Yeah.
and one of the ones I mentioned was Cat Lady, and I actually played it with my parents on Sunday,
Nice.
and they both really loved it. My dad loved it so much he was literally looking at the AEG website to see how much it cost to buy it. I'm like, okay then. Anyway, so yeah, it was. He's like, I want the deluxe version that comes with all the cool
Yeah, the premium
the
edition.
premium. It comes with like the food is actually shaped like what the food actually is instead of just cubes and all this stuff. But I'm like, they really enjoyed it. So I was like, that was definitely a good suggestion because yeah. But I mean, my parents are both cat people,
Right.
but I think it was more than that. Like my dad said he really liked the way the game worked in terms of like collecting the cards and having to, even though he came in, no, my mom was last place, but I don't know. Even though he didn't win, he still enjoyed like the way the mechanics worked and everything. The little bit of set collection and the trying to grab the but the right type of cards for your strategy. And yeah, it was really good. We had fun.
I know it's not the same game, but every time you mention Cat Lady, I always think back to the mass market game that's like the cat game that's got
Oh
like
yeah,
the
we've had
fur.
that too.
Oh, yeah, we had that.
We played that with my family.
I think you
also.
talked about it on the show.
I'm sure we did.
Every time you say Cat Cafe, that's what I
Cat
think
Lady.
of. Or Cat Lady.
Yeah,
that's
we don't
what I
say
think
Cat
of.
Cafe, except
Oh,
right now.
Yeah. I got Ashley to play Cat Cafe.
Nice.
But it was just a one-off play.
Yeah.
So not much to say. It's a neat roll and write.
Cool.
Yeah. Anyway, so that was it. I just wanted to.
It's verified as a good family game.
It is. Yep. Exactly.
That's
That's all I wanted to say.
All right. Everybody's favorite part of the show here.
Yeah. I've been waiting all show.
So, King of Tokyo is getting a new edition,
I
like
saw
a
this.
collector's edition
I saw stuff
called
about this.
King of Tokyo Dark Edition. This version, which is expected in Q2 2020, will feature new artwork and deluxe components, along with this new mechanic where you move up a sideboard to get like special powers and stuff.
Okay.
Sounds cool.
In other words, it's about as fancy as the game can get without putting Godzilla in a tux.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I saw buzz about that from Essen.
Yeah.
Like they were kind of hinting at
Well,
it.
they had pictures and stuff of
Yeah,
it.
but they weren't actually like giving you details yet.
Yeah.
This is
Yes.
what takes place during Blackout Hong Kong. It's actually kaiju everywhere.
I might be interested in this game.
I'd be willing to try
I have it.
The sidetrack kind of brings it into the interest realm for me.
Well, I love King of Tokyo. I keep it around more as like a family. Like it is the. I guess I should have put that on there because it wasn't in my other list. I could have put King of Tokyo. It is a good game I bring out with family because a lot of them know it. So
Yeah.
But at the video game convention BlizzCon a few weeks ago, Blizzard Entertainment trolled several humans by promising a new board game set in the World of Warcraft universe.
Oh.
To be released by Asmodee, it'll be based on the Forsaken game Small World from Days of Wonder.
Oh, right.
Oh.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Personally, I imagine this game will dwarf its predecessor and people will be gobbling it up.
Got him!
That was bad.
What was bad?
Your joke.
Because the entire thing was a joke.
What?
I put about 7 races in there throughout that entire bit.
They just worked well as verbs and other parts
Well,
of
I
speech.
only heard the ones at the end, so there you go.
I said they trolled several humans by promising a board game, blah, 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 it'll be based on the Forsaken, which you wouldn't have gotten,
No, I know what that is.
in World of Warcraft. You know who the
Oh.
Forsaken are?
No.
Okay. And then personally, the dwarf, its predecessor, people will be gobbling it up. So 5. I was close.
I thought you were talking about the things in Small World.
No.
Oh, then never mind. I didn't get it.
The undead in World of Warcraft are called the Forsaken.
What's it called when you flipped your people over in Small World?
Decline?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Whatever. That was lame.
On to something you care about.
I actually thought it was all right.
Right now, Kickstarter, Big Kid Games is funding a couple of expansions to its Montana Heritage Edition.
Yeah.
Already backed.
Called Gold Rush and Longhorn. They offer a total of 7 modular expansions that you can add to the game. By the time the podcast version comes out, the campaign's going to be closed. But then again, it's a Western game, so you haven't missed much.
Oh my gosh.
I was like, I'm going to try and make a Western joke here. Nope.
Colin is really happy with his keyboard.
Yeah.
That was sad.
Did you see? With authority, I reached
Like,
for that
so-
other
yeah,
button. I
It was
was
like- it
I
was
was
like the
ready
ball
for the
drop.
joke. I was like, no.
That was a sad news joke thing. Because I'm super excited.
I feel like what we need to do is we just need to get Colin a custom keyboard, and they just need to be like giant red buttons.
Nah. Switchboard.
And get me a chimp to operate it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Philip.
No, I don't have as much hair as a chimp does.
Well, maybe not on the top of your head.
Maybe not on the top of my head. You're right. We probably got the same type of beard.
Anyways,
Yes.
taking the phrase beating a dead horse a bit too literally, Simon announced at the
no.
end of Zombicide's second edition campaign that their next campaign would be another Zombicide game.
Get out of
Of
town.
course.
This time, however, it will be the official Night of the Living Dead version of the game.
Huh.
No news as to when it will begin, so all of that was really just a setup for me to make the following zombie puns.
Uh-huh.
It's been a thriller injecting these puns into every episode. However, the quality of puns is starting to decay. Will that stop me? Of course not. Email me if you have any suggestions on how to keep these fresh.
Gross.
And they aren't going away. Romero what?
Oh, that one was good.
George
that was
Romero.
That
good.
was actually good. Yeah.
Oh, that was good.
Why did it not work?
I was trying to find the air horn.
You mean that button?
Yeah. And I think there was enough of gaps everywhere that I can actually put it in a proper spot.
There you go. Yeah. Right. I've always felt that Subway is missing out every Halloween
Eat flesh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the like Subway, eat zombies, eat flesh.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, guys, you're missing out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would cost a crap ton of money to like hire the sign companies to for one day rip the sign off the wall, put the new sign up, and then
You
like,
don't even make.
switch
There's
it.
been so many like people have already made those posters, like the graphics. Sorry, I had to turn the sign on. It didn't auto cut on.
Dang, who's that connected to? Is that connected to Google or?
There.
It's connected
So is
to-
that the news?
it's
That was
connected to
it.
Somebody.
I usually end with the puns.
Yeah. You just say that's the news.
And that's the news.
Awesome.
Didn't some other like oldie time popular newscaster do that all the time?
And that's the way it was.
Yeah,
Walt-
And
That's the way the
Walter-
cookie crumble.
I was
Walter
thinking the same
Cronkite.
thing.
Cronkite. Yeah.
So, anyways,
Yeah.
our main topic today is we're talking about ways to keep your table,
Organized.
condensed and organized. 'cause
Organized.
Your games tend to be kind of a hog sometimes,
Mm-hmm.
especially if you're playing that Batman game.
Or the new Western Legends.
Yeah,
I like both
You got
expansions.
Elder Tor also.
yeah.
That one can take
Oh.
up some space.
Carson City takes up space too.
Scythe,
Yeah.
Mhm.
a lot. Twilight Imperium.
Twilight Imperium.
How would you know?
What? I've seen it out on a table.
I've seen it.
I seen it.
I seen it first.
So the first obvious solution would be
Star
to,
Trek Ascendancy.
yeah,
oh,
that one.
jeez, that takes up
Yeah.
room.
The first suggestion would be to just not play games that take up a lot of
Oh, but that's-
space.
I don't
Silly.
think that's an option. No.
Well, it depends. If you know you're going to be limited on table space, don't bring a table hog.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Like at a
yeah.
game store
Yeah.
where, like I'm only going to have this small space.
I see what you're saying. Okay.
Be like some groups that say, "No, I'm taking 3 tables. I don't care how many people show up."
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's rude.
But maybe you're at home, but
Mm-hmm.
it's just maybe your table's not big enough.
Yeah, and that's an issue sometimes. Like when you get into a game and you get more and more stuff, like more expansion stuff, or
Mhm.
you just have a big game.
So I'm actually going to start with when we asked our patron,
Mm-hmm.
our Patreon Slack, which you can get access to for just $1. I asked this, and I'm going to start with that because it's kind of like a good starting place. Is if
Mhm.
your table's too small, buy something to make it bigger.
Oh yeah.
And that is like so Beetle in our Slack mentioned that he has one of the table toppers
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
that you can put on your table, and then like when you're not using it, you can put it away,
Mm-hmm.
and it makes sure. Yeah, he's got like the 3x6, and he can even break it up so it's smaller if he needs to.
Yeah, that's a big
Yeah.
table.
That's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
So, again, just if we're gonna start off with most expensive options and go to least expensive options,
Yeah.
that's probably the start of the.
Yeah, either table toppers or even just a custom board game table.
That's
Right.
that's
That
the
kinda-
top,
yeah.
and then game toppers are like underneath
Correct.
that,
Mm-hmm.
and underneath that.
Underneath that, I would say, what Chris and Sandy have done. They built their own table.
Mm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's a huge table. Specifically, it's like, all right, we're kind of going to be the place where everyone wants to play games. Let's make this giant table.
Yeah, and then you have the option of like more table space. You got the like TV trays.
Oh yeah.
Just throw those next to the table.
Mhm.
Yep.
Mhm.
Stuff that you're going to need access to, but it doesn't need to be like
On the table.
on the table all the
Mhm.
time.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, that's good. So if you don't have the budget for a new table, what are some things that?
Well, that's with the TV trays. Those are
Yeah.
those are cheap.
Those are
'cause
Yeah,
they're
no,
like
that's
$20
great.
bucks.
Yeah,
Well,
like
what are some other
You
things?
find
we
those
could-
at yard sales too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They should. Someone should make an accessory that like you can clamp onto a desk or onto a table, and it has a little board for you to like put stuff in front of
I'm
you.
sure it's out there. I just don't know
sure.
what it's called.
Yeah. But anyways, things you could do on your existing table though.
Mhm.
There's obviously things such like inserts.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times, like especially if you've got a game that's got player boards, you can put all your stuff in there, and then when you're done, it just kind of like goes back in the box in the same way.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't have like all these little bits and modules
Yeah.
all over the place. I don't know what the words are coming out of my mouth.
And with that, you can also sometimes leave the stuff in the insert while you're playing as like your grab thing.
Yeah.
Like for components or like tokens,
Like a
and stuff.
dish.
Yeah, you can use it as a dish. It's I don't know. Or in that same vein, if you don't have a special insert, you just keep your stuff in baggies instead of just dumping it all out on the table. Get some like small little bowls or something and stick your your tokens
Like
or bits
ramekins.
yeah, something.
If we're moving down the list in price, one option better than baggies is there's these things called bit boxes.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
You can
yeah.
get them for like $2-3 and they come with like 3 of them. The little plastic stackable
Yeah.
squares
Yeah.
or cubes.
And then you could just leave the stuff in there.
Yeah, and you could just basically put all your tokens and bits in there and then just okay. You could just put all your tokens and bits in there and then just pull it out of the box and open it up.
Mhm.
I use that for a lot. I've gotten to the point I go anytime a game's got various bits, I'll start off by putting them in those.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
We've used
a
those
few
before.
different brands. So like
Right.
there's one called Geekbox too, I think, and then there's Game Trays.
Yeah, I think Geekbox is the one I have.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think in general they've been referred to as Bitbox things.
I
but
thought Bitbox was another brand.
it might be,
And you could even just go to like your local craft
Yep.
store and just buy like those little bead containers.
Yep.
The ones that have the lid, like it's a circle or
Mhm.
it's a
There's
circle
usually
thing,
like a
and it's got a
screw-on
screw
lid.
top lid, and they usually lock with each other.
It's like a 7 stack, and they all
Yeah, it almost look like petri dishes.
Yeah.
each one is
Kinda.
another one's
it's
lid.
threaded. Yeah, they thread onto
Yeah.
each other.
Or there's the ones that they're bigger. They're probably about the size of like a small drinking glass, like a
Mm-hmm.
and then you could get and they also have the screw top lids, and they'll the feet of the one that will stick into the lid of the other, and so those are a little bigger if you have larger pieces, and those might not necessarily fit in your box because those are bigger, but I don't know.
In ways of bead storage, though, there is my favorite. It almost looks like a bigger version of like a pill box for the week,
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh, yep.
and it's about 12 inches wide
Uh-huh.
or long
Mhm.
by like an inch and a half deep, and yeah, I think our stuff in Montana currently is
that,
in
yep.
one of those, and like we just pop, 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 and we can have access to it during the game.
It's like that for Kingdom Builder too, right?
No, that's a different storage thing.
Oh.
And I've used tackle boxes, like the smaller,
Oh, the Plano.
the Plano boxes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we have those
I've
too.
used those for various tokens and bits, especially with the LCGs and stuff.
I've currently got one of those in the Colonists because there's a
Mm.
lot of different stuff in that game too.
I mean, our
Oh, yeah.
entire X-wing
Mm-hmm.
setup we got rid of those boxes and went straight into.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah, right.
repurposed one for Legion now
Yeah.
too.
Mm.
So what about free things
Free things.
or create? Like
So I would say the most cheapest, freest option of saving space on the table with a giant board game is to play it on the floor.
Oh yeah.
that works.
I mean, not if you have animals.
if you've got the space for it, and you can cordon the area off. Be like, all right, guys,
Mhm.
we're playing right here.
You get one of those. If you have like a baby gate, you gate the baby in the other part.
Yeah, I was about to say, as long as you don't have babies or children or animals,
Yeah.
or if
At least
you're
that aren't on a leash.
young enough that you can actually get in the floor.
Mm-hmm.
Like I imagine there are some people that are not able to sit in the floor.
Yeah, but if you can, I mean, it's definitely
Right.
an option.
Just get that room from the Sugar Ray Fly video and play on the ceiling.
Yes,
Oh my god.
Problem solved.
I wanted to do. This was when Chris and I were playing X-wing heavy. There, I had this like thought of you magnetize everything and then put it up on like a whiteboard, one of those metal backed whiteboards. You
that'd
can
be
just stick
cool.
it all to.
That's a
Like,
way to-
That would be awesome.
That's a way to do like a game over the course of a week when you're getting ready in the morning. Just like move stuff on the fridge.
Yeah. Keep an office game going. Just everyone moves it.
Instead of tic-tac-toe, it's just a game of like Scythe or something on the wall.
Yeah, there you
Oh
go.
my gosh.
Whose
Where-
turn is it?
Whenever you're taking a break, you walk by, you move your character, and you go back.
Oh my gosh.
You just
that's
can't play a
funny.
game that requires dice.
Yeah.
Well, I did see like some Kickstarter like that. It was it throws and then the dice like magnetize back to like zonk.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It was a dice tray. So you throw them in, and then it like
I remember
if
that.
they bounce back.
Yeah, I thought
Mhm.
that was really cool. I can't remember what it was called.
But
though.
that's buying something though.
That's right.
Yeah.
So yeah, you got playing on the floor.
Playing on the floor. I mean,
Yeah.
that's
Let's see what else. What else can we do for free?
I mean, you could just use cups you already have in your house.
I was thinking that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like we've got a set of ramekins. I think we've used them once for when we didn't have the wooden ones available.
Oh,
I
yeah,
mean, we do that
probably.
for puzzles. Like if we ever put together a puzzle, we'll take cups and use those to sort out
the pieces.
pieces.
Mm-hmm.
It's the
Mm.
same thing.
I would. My question was going to be, how many times have you used the ramekins for like their actual purpose of like putting some food or something in them?
The wooden ones, never. They are specific for game
Board
pieces.
Mm-hmm.
They just look nicer on the table. Yeah, they're
Yeah.
Pampered Chef.
Oh yeah, they're an old style.
We got
thing,
those
though.
for free. Her mom gave them to us.
There you go. There you
Yeah,
go.
they're very.
I
old.
asked us. She put them in a yard sale. I was like, "Can I buy these from you?" She's like, "You can have
Mm-hmm.
That was get these out of my house.
them." Yeah,
Yep.
I don't care what you do. Just get them out.
I'm trying to
So,
think some other free stuff. I don't know.
Well, other free stuff you can do is just how you arrange the stuff on the table. I'm
True.
segueing into another point I had. Like with Western Legends, they have spots on the playmat where you can put stuff, but there's no discard piles. So
Oh yeah.
even with that, or like with Eldritch Horror,
Mhm.
even like you can put the discard pile underneath the existing pile.
That's true.
Just face up. So
Just because
that
there's so
it's-
many decks of cards in that game.
Oh, yeah.
anyway.
Yeah, that was a constant back when I was playing that regularly. That was a constant thing. It was me trying to find new ways of organizing stuff so that it could fit. I even at one point was like had this little stackable tower thing that alternated that I could put cards in so that it was all in one spot.
Yeah,
Oh, that's cool.
people have. I've seen like custom things built for Eldritch Horror, all the decks
Yeah.
that need to go in that game.
Wow.
But yeah, just stacking the discard pile underneath. And another thing, it might drive people crazy, but people like to separate out their pieces, like into different categories. Like, you got your gold here, you got your wood here, you got your stone. Just put them all together, one pile.
That
Save some
yeah.
space.
It would save space, but it would stress me out.
Those
that's for
OCD.
sure.
Well, we do that with certain games. The one that pushed me over the edge, I think, was Finca.
Oh yeah.
I was
yeah,
like, there's
that'd
just
be
so
really
many
hard.
different kinds of fruit in that game. So just like
That'd be
they're
really
easy
hard.
enough to they're all different, like wildly different colors.
Okay,
Yeah.
there you go.
And so it's like
It's
it's
easy
easy enough
enough.
to pick out.
We
But-
did that for Charterstone. We just took all the various resources and dumped them on the table because we just got tired of separating them all out every time.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I see people do I see pictures on Instagram occasionally that people separate for tiny towns. They separated out all the different resources into their own thing. So they had like 15 different cups on the table. I'm like, you don't need that many.
How many of each resource are like 2?
There's like maybe 10 of each resource, and they're just a wooden cube.
There's not 15 resources though.
Well, they had the buildings and different things too.
Oh. So
yeah,
we have our buildings separate, but all the cubes are in the same spot.
yeah. So the
Okay.
cubes again, they're all you
They're
can
very
tell
different
what
colored.
different colors they are. So just have them in one
Mhm.
pile. It's fine. If you can get over your OCD, that's good training. Good training. I believe in you. You can do this. That's for the listeners there. Just play
Yeah.
that back every time you need it.
Hey, Black Friday's coming up. Well, probably be over by the time this goes out live. But they usually
no,
have
it'll be the week after, or like 5 days later.
Like 2 days later, maybe.
So my point being, it'll be over by the time that this airs.
Mm.
Okay.
What about
Go
that?
on.
What are you missing?
Well, because if you post the episode on Monday, Thanksgiving's the Thursday after.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah,
That's true.
because Thanksgiving's late.
I
this
was
year.
thinking it comes out will be out the following week, the following Monday, but that's
Mm.
wrong. Yeah. So yes, back to my point. Black Friday's coming up. They usually do sales on like Rubbermaid. Where you
Yes.
get like a
Oh,
whole
yeah.
bunch of Rubbermaid for like $20.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep.
There you go.
Wait.
You're talking about the
The
Rubbermaid
big
like
size?
Tupperware?
Yeah.
Like-
Okay. I
like
know
the
Tupperware's a brand,
Like
but
the supper,
Yeah.
So is
the
Rubbermaid.
sandwich sizes and
What would you use that for?
bits.
For any little bits.
But they're huge.
well, you can get them in smaller sizes.
Yeah, they
too.
get them.
Yeah.
They come like the pack I'm thinking
like the
of.
little
is-
snack size.
the
yeah,
pack
the
I'm
snack
thinking
size
of-
are the ones that look like baby
Oh.
food jars, like
Yeah.
that size.
Okay,
yeah.
I know what you're talking about. Those
Like,
would make sense.
the-
Yeah.
There's a specific pack I always see on sale at Walmart that has multiple sizes.
But
Okay,
then
I get what you're saying now.
Be extremely careful because you buy too many of those, you're gonna be like that lady in the commercial. She opens a cabinet, whoa, all the lids go flying out.
Oh my gosh.
Me every day.
Nope.
All right, did we solve the problem here?
I don't know. Let me consult my list.
You were talking about utilizing the box.
Yeah, so Philip touched on that a little bit. I think just leaving stuff in the box until you need it,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
and just keep it on an unused chair or
Oh,
tray
yeah.
table.
Keep it, yeah,
Yeah.
tray to right.
Yeah.
Oh, we're not gonna need these 12 decks until the
Halfway through the
yeah
game.
yeah until we're halfway through the game. Let's not put them on the table right this exact second.
Mhm.
Yeah. And then by that point, maybe you don't need something else and you could swap it out.
Oh, I know the biggest way you can save space, and it costs you nothing if you've already got it.
You've already got it.
And that is use a second table.
Oh, yeah.
I've done this for some games where you leave all the boxes
Oh,
and
yeah.
stuff in the other room, and then you just go and grab things as you like. Okay, I just get the board. Like when we did,
When you're playing that Scythe
when we were playing
campaign
Scythe
game,
of the
yeah.
campaign, I left all the boxes of stuff in there, and like, okay,
Yeah.
what do we need for the next scenario?
We need
Okay, let
boxes-
me go.
Boxes 12, 23, and 7.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Even if you have like a coffee table or a card table or something, you could certainly do that with that as well.
Yeah, I did that with Batman. I actually had I was playing on the other table that's usually in here, and I had everything on like stacked up on this table and just kind of strewn all over the place on this table,
Mhm.
and was just moving back and forth, just grabbing stuff as I needed it to figure
Yeah.
stuff out.
Yeah, that's good.
All right. Next problem. Let us know. We'll solve it.
Or the I'm trying to think of like a board game way of saying problem solvers. I can't think of anything right now.
We are the problem solvers.
Oh my gosh.
There you go. Classy name. Simple.
Elegant.
Let's hope that's not like taken already.
It probably is.
Right.
Anyways,
Get a cease and desist.
you know what isn't taken?
Liam
People
Neeson.
going to
Oh.
patreon.com/boards and swords and giving us $1.
Mm.
Yeah.
That's not taken. People can go do that.
Yeah. I have a particular set of skills.
You know, just like I said, like they did with Jordan here, and he got his shout out. All you got to do is $1, and you get a shout out here on the show to say thanks.
Mhm.
And you get access to the Slack where we post topics like this and get feedback from and
From
talk.
our patrons.
Yes. And we also have all sorts of other discussions occasionally in there.
Yeah.
I'm assuming it'll get bigger the more people they get in there.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
a slow ramp up that
It's
we've been
fun,
doing
though.
the past couple weeks.
It's
Mhm.
fun.
The biggest trouble.
Chatting.
We've overcome the biggest hurdle, which was me getting all the hosts to actually post on there.
Ah, yeah.
I'd love to get some patrons in there that actually are interested in talking about games that aren't for Chris and Philip.
What?
No.
He's saying
It's
most of the. Well, you got like Roger.
Yeah.
But Roger doesn't want to talk to me. I'm like, I played that game, Roger. Yeah, Chris, you should play this game.
Yeah. He's not lying. That's how it goes down. It's a sad story.
But anyway, so yeah.
So yeah, Patreon.
So, anyways, let's slide over to our game show.
Oh yeah, game. Okay. So I already have 2 other game shows in reserve now because I've had all these different ideas.
She just didn't have time to prep them.
Yes, I had 2 that I just ran out of time to prep. So I came up with this thing and I hope it's fun. Matt,
That means it's not. I'm just kidding.
so Matt, who frequently listens to us live and he's one of our patron supporters, he and I were chatting and he actually helped me out with this idea. So basically this is a kind of a version of Snake Oil, only you guys are going to be combining 2 different games and pitching them to me to see what game I'd like to play.
Okay.
Okay.
kind of also remind. I have not played Snake Oil, but
Well,
kinda-
we've kind
But
of
wait,
done a
there's
similar.
more.
but that's
But
what I'm
wait, there's
saying.
more.
But
Yeah,
wait,
yeah,
there's
yeah.
more.
So not Snake Oil. That's what I meant. Yeah, that's general style game where you're like combining two things.
Yeah.
And you're trying to like entice somebody to.
I gotcha.
Fun
So-
Employed is also in that category.
Yeah. So I have 15 different game
Games?
titles in here, and I mean you don't necessarily have to use the actual like game mechanics of either game, but that could be pretty fun. So anyway, you'll draw 2. Yes, Philip.
Are these 15 actual separate titles, or is it like
Actual separate titles.
Ticket to Ride Paris, Ticket to Ride London?
No,
Ticket to
no.
Ride-
Ticket to Ride's not even in here, just so you know. But yeah, so they're all different games.
But like we could combine the themes of both of them.
Yes, exactly. So, yeah, you're each gonna take turns. You're gonna draw 2. They're like folded into little quarters in here, and then you'll read them and you will pitch me your game.
All right.
All right. So here, I'll start with Colin since he's just right here.
So I grabbed 2.
Grab 2.
All right.
He got 2.
I grabbed 1, I think. And there's 2.
Okay. So what'd you grab?
I got Rising Sun
Nice.
and Munchkin.
Okay then.
So, in Munchkin Rising Sun, there's a colon in there.
This actually doesn't surprise me. It
Every-
seems like hey,
the,
why not?
The 15 rooms are now different regions of Japan that you're
Okay.
having to get through, and all the monsters have been turned into the cards that you're throwing to defeat the other players, knock them out so you can get to the top. And the weapons, surprisingly, also monsters. You're using monsters to fight monsters and make your way to the top and be the ultimate person riding a turtle to the finish line.
Riding a turtle to the finish line.
Um,
Okay.
see, you went
I've
went the
s-
wrong way on that. You should inverse
This
that.
is my game here.
Well, whatever.
You design your own, sir.
No, I'm going on that same game. Is you invert it, and it's basically Rising Sun, but with a Munchkin skin on it. Like the gameplay is still Rising Sun, but just replace all the monsters with like Munchkin characters
Nope.
and weird stuff.
Nope, he just totally described Pokemon.
All right, Chris, draw your 2.
It was an inadvertent crossover.
You're using these monsters to fight these other monsters to get to the top and be the very best like no one ever was.
You got 2.
I got the Mind
The mind.
and Railroad Inc.
All right, so the mind and Railroad Inc.
Go.
Hold on, give me a second.
Okay, you got some
Hold
time.
on. Why don't you go ahead and let Philip draw his so he can
So
think
I
of-
can
Okay.
research my games because I probably have no idea what's in
And
Well,
them.
just don't
there-
announce what they are yet.
There
Yeah.
are some in there that you do know.
Yeah,
I
Munchkin
promise.
and Railroad Inc. They've already been drawn.
No, there's others. I made sure.
Well, because I have an idea in mind. I'm just trying to figure out how it would work. But basically, it would be instead not quite like the Mind, but a little different. But in this one, we'll call it the Mind Railroad.
Okay.
It's got the whiteboards, and basically everybody except for one person has to close their eyes, and then one person or everybody closes their eyes. One person keeps their eyes open and rolls dice, and then tells the other people what they rolled, and everybody has to like draw it on their board
With their eyes closed?
with their eyes closed.
Ooh.
And then you like then at the end you judge based on who actually made the most coherent railroad.
Nice. That's actually pretty cool.
Mm.
I kind of like that. Blind Railroad Inc. in a way.
All right, Simon
Nice.
and Pandasaurus. There you go.
Nice. Philip, what games did you draw?
I mean, I'm just trying to figure out which one because there's 2 versions of this game.
Oh, what is
Well,
it?
it's your turn now, so you can say the names.
It is. So I got Cindy was right. There were more games in here than I knew. I got Happy Salmon and Battlestar Galactica.
Woohoo! Okay. It
Which-
could be whichever Battlestar Galactica you
Or
want
it can
to
be the green or the blue Happy Salmon.
Well, I only own the new one. I don't own the one made by Parker Brothers.
Oh, well, then I was thinking
Not the
about
1979 one.
Yeah.
I was thinking about the one that you talk about, that Battlestar Galactica.
Well, meaning there's the minis game.
Yeah,
and
right,
then
there's the-
Oh. I don't know. Whatever.
The one that's specifically titled Battlestar Galactica, the board game.
The board game.
Sure.
That'd be the Fantasy Flight one we played.
Spaceballs. The board game.
The
All right.
flamethrower.
The flamethrower. The kids love it. All right. So, in trying to figure out what do I want to call this game.
Happy Cylon?
All right.
You're welcome.
So, in Battlestar Salmon,
Nice. Okay.
Battle Salmon.
Battle Salmon. Yes. So, in Happy Battle Salmon,
Better.
in Happy Battle Salmon, it's a social deduction dexterity game
Mm.
where you have to discover via the cards in your hand whether or not one of the other players around you is an evil agent. And you have to make sure that they don't get to run through their deck to their final card, which will cause the annihilation of everyone else at the table.
Oh my gosh.
Nice.
That
I'm
sounds
thinking-
fun.
I'm
So
think-
how do you know who the bad person is? Like, how can you deduce that?
They have
Like a murder mystery, like you shake hands and you do the happy salmon, they stick a finger out to scratch you or something.
That's what I was thinking. It's almost like a version of a fake artist goes to New York, where everybody does some action together, and based on what people do, like you have a deck of cards that have like a different action on them.
Mhm.
I just don't know how you would do it without it being immediately noticeable.
That the action's different.
Yeah.
We'll workshop that.
Yeah. Okay.
The,
So-
like like Colin was saying, the Cylon deck would have to be like, yeah, you have to do the happy salmon, but you stick a finger out. And it just feels weird.
Right.
When you do the switcheroo, you're both supposed to run around the table in the same
I don't know how it
direction,
works.
but
They do the opposite
yeah,
direction.
Yeah.
I got it. Yeah. So it's not just the Cylon one doesn't have anything on it. It has the same action as everybody else, but with like a caveat.
I think that could work.
That's kind of fun sounding.
Like
You
one
make
of
that
them
with the normal happy salmon. Just
Shake
make it in there.
One of them's
Yeah.
the shaking the hands, but their eyes are closed.
Yeah. Which is like, that's not a noticeable thing. You're just like, what? That's weird. Your eyes are closed.
You gotta wink while you do it.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh. All right. Of those three games, let me think. I think I would most. They all sounded good, but I think I would most enjoy the Mind Railroad.
Yes.
So, here we go. So, Chris, you're going to get a point for round one.
Cool.
Okay.
Awesome.
So wait, is there only
I'm
two
happy
rounds?
for you, Chris.
No, there's going to be 3 rounds.
Oh,
So,
okay.
round 3 will be slightly different, which I'll explain when we
Ah.
get there. Okay. So, Colin, I'm going to let you all pick all of yours now. Like,
yeah,
So, you guys have a little time to think. And, Colin, you can have a little bit more time to think, too.
All right.
Matthew's here to see his game.
Oh, we're
You're getting new ones, yeah?
okay.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be more fun. We just put them back in the bag and see. Like,
Randomize it more.
We could do that for the last round.
happy salmon, the mind. The mind munchkin.
Nobody wants to play that.
Perfect. So, this next round will be worth 2 points.
I got two that are almost the same game if you think about it.
Really? Oh,
Well, mechanics wise,
okay. I'm curious now.
if you just meaning if you just themed either game, they would still make sense.
Gotcha.
Oh.
So who's first?
Whoever wants to go first.
Whoever's got theirs.
Yeah.
I think I've got one.
Okay, go for it, Colin.
It's surefire to win.
Okay.
My 2 games that I got are Scythe and Terraforming Mars.
Oh,
Dang it. You got all the good ones.
Terraforming scythe.
So what I'm proposing as my game
Okay.
is called Martian Farming.
Yes.
Don't ruin my game.
Yes. Okay, bring it to me.
So with this, we have improved the graphics on the cards for Terraforming Mars and turned them all into Clemens Franz artwork.
Oh, fantastic.
If you can imagine him with the red landscape behind everything. So, and
Well, this
I'm-
round's rigged.
I'm playing to my strengths. Playing to my strengths here.
Okay. I'm listening.
And then we've simplified the rules a little bit to Scythe, making them slightly more easy to explain. So you can play it at the game night at the store if you
My
want
Little
to.
Scythe rules.
Yes, we've adapted the My Little Scythe and gotten it in there.
Okay.
So with that, you are farming your way to the top. Going to be the very best there ever was
On Mars.
on Mars. And you are trying to get the most points, and most points is what you want to have the most of.
Okay.
And that's the game.
Okay.
That's all I'm
So-
authorized to say on the subject.
All right.
See, the two games I got were Sushi Go and Patchwork.
Okay.
What they're both kind of like drafting game. Like if you made Patchwork but sushi themed, or Sushi Go but Patchwork themed, they would still make sense. Is what I was saying.
Because they're both pasted on themes.
Kind of.
Hmm.
And they're both very pick a thing, do something with said thing.
Okay. But anyway, okay, so combine them and
But
and
anyways, in
pitch me.
Sushi Go work, you are basically
Hang on. Back it up. Try that again.
what?
No, I don't like that name.
It's not your game to judge.
What's the better name then?
For Sushi Go and Patchwork?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't use Scythe and Terraforming Mars. I mean, you can make it your own.
Okay.
You said
Fine.
What'd you say?
I said
He
Martian
said Martian
farming.
farming.
Oh.
Fishy quilt.
Fishy quilt. No.
See, I like that.
You're okay with Sushi Go work.
No. I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna say sushi yas with extra A's to throw people off when they can try and type it in wrong in the BGG. Nobody knows how many A's to put in when they're searching.
What does that have to do with
Anyways,
Go ahead. Tell me.
in it, you're
Tell me.
playing a sushi chef who has to get the most sushi he can on a plate to like fill it up, so that the person gets the most sushi for the price, or like for the price that they pay. It's like an all-you-can-eat sushi bar.
Mm.
Okay.
So you're trying to put as much sushi on there as possible, but all the sushi bets are like using the cutest little artwork you can ever find.
Okay.
Like they're in like Tetris-y looking pieces, but they all have like cute little faces and stuff.
Aw, okay. Okay. It's good. It's good. Philip, what'd you get?
I got Carson City and Secret Hitler.
You know,
You
I've thought
played
about
Carson City.
I've thought
have.
about there being like some sort of hidden roles in Carson City.
Well, that's almost too easy.
All right, Philip. What's your game?
I'm
For
scared-
Secret
I'm s-
Hitler, it's just basically a social deduction
It's a social.
game.
Yeah, that's.
Think like Werewolf or
I
anything.
wikied both of them real quick, just to.
I'm
get the
scared he's
quick
going to say
description.
something like the goal is to burn the game or something like that.
No, that will automatically lose. And he's disqualified from round 3 if that's the case.
Hey, you just found an easy out.
Hey!
I'm heading home early. Good night, everybody.
Just phone my bid. Here, hold your phone up to the microphone real quick. I gotta phone my bid in.
Oh my gosh.
So in Secret City.
Okay.
Secret City is a social deduction game
Okay.
played over 4 rounds
Mm.
where you have to figure out who are all the people in your town.
Ooh.
Okay.
Okay. You got me hooked. Reel me in.
That's all I got.
This game exists. It's called Bang. It's basically Secret Sheriff. Who's the sheriff?
No. Because there's like 18 different roles in Carson City, like
I
all
know,
the
but
different
there's
roles.
like a
Mhm.
bunch of roles in Bang too.
Well, there's really only like 5 roles in that.
Okay.
There's like the renegade, sheriff, deputies, and outlaws. Maybe someone else. I don't know. But yeah, like you
So you're
figure
trying
out like
to
which
figure
7 roles are
Carson
in the
City
game.
had the map, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yes. And you have to figure out all the roles that everyone's doing while also making sure bandits don't come into your town and steal all the gold.
Mm.
Okay. I mean, yeah. I get that because there is outlaws that come and steal from different buildings. That's good.
And it does take place over 4 rounds.
Does take place over.
That's really good.
I was like, he had to look that up because I would not have been able to pull that out of anywhere.
That's really good. I don't know. It's between Philip and Colin.
Yeah, definitely.
Remember, the
Man, if only there was a
Clemens
multi-sided
Yes.
device that you could use to split ties.
Okay.
Like a coin.
Yeah, there's that.
Oh yeah.
All right. Colin is odd. Philip is even.
Colin is
It
pretty
is
odd.
even, so it goes to
Well,
Philip.
I mean, Philip's odd.
Like, it's facing me. All I see are even numbers. Are there odd numbers on here? Yes, there are. Okay.
All right, so Philip gets 2 points. All right.
2
so
points.
The last round, we have 3 remaining games in here. I'm going to draw them, and you're all going to have to pitch me a
A different
game.
version of that game.
Yes. So it's 3 different things. All right, so we
Mm.
have Welcome to.
Okay.
We have Gold West. And we have Skull.
Hmm.
So we have a roll and write, a Moncala style Euro, and a deduction party game.
Okay. Hmm.
Well,
Well,
it's
I'd
a
say
flip and fill,
it's
but
press your luck.
Yeah.
oh, press your
Skull.
luck. You're right. Press your luck. I'm sorry. I don't know why I said social deduction. All right, I'll give you some time to think. Like Chris's mind was working. I can see it.
All right, I got one.
Are you good, Colin?
I think so.
All right.
I've got enough to run with.
Yeah, same.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to start with Colin because he's in last place.
Well, that's my thing. I've been going first. So
Okay. Well, then, Chris, you go first.
So I'm going to call it Skull West.
Okay.
And basically, it's going to be very similar to Skull, except the little coasters
Mm-hmm.
are all whiteboards. Like you can draw on them.
Okay.
And I have to kind of, you're going to have to fill in the blank a little bit because I've not played Gold West.
Mhm.
But basically, how you would fill it is the flip and fill bit of the game, where you would flip, basically, you'd flip cards that would have different sorts of rolls and would modify your coasters.
Mhm.
And then you would play something like Skull to be like, wait, which coaster did he put out of the one? We
Mm.
know what all the options are because of the flip and fill bit.
Mm-hmm.
And then you would turn the coasters over or put something on it to keep it from rubbing off.
Yeah.
And then you would sort of play like Skull, where you're putting them in and pushing your luck and be like, wait, which one did he put in?
How does Gold West fit in that?
Well, that was where I was fidgeting. Like
Okay.
the cards that you would use to fill in would be somehow Gold
So
West,
they're like resources, and
I guess.
so in Gold West, you're basically trying to mine.
it would be
for
something
different
westerny,
resources.
basically.
Yeah. So okay. So it could be you're putting different.
Players compete as prospectors, building
Yeah.
their mining empires while
Yeah.
vying over the precious metals of the frontier.
So like so you could be putting like drawing gold and silver and
That's what I was
copper.
thinking,
but
that-
then the coal is
Yeah.
the busting.
That, or
thing.
I was thinking like different roles where like somebody's the miner, and then
Mhm.
somebody, or then like one of the cards might be like a thief.
Okay.
Or one of them might be like a cave-in or something. That was the part I was saying. You're going to have to kind of like bridge the gap for me on that
Mhm.
one.
Yeah. Okay. I get that though. Like, because you could be drawing, and like I said, coal would be busting.
Yeah, the Gold West is more of the flip and fill flavor
Yeah.
of the deck
Yeah.
I get
that you're
that.
flipping.
That's kind of cool. I could see that being neat. All right, Colin.
So the cheap way out of this is to just add a skull element to Rolled West. But I'm not going to do that.
Okay. Good. Good.
So
Oh, I get it. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So we have welcome to the Skull West.
Okay.
You took my name.
Oh,
I
you
just,
said that?
I just said Skull West.
Oh. Welcome to
I'm-
Skeleton Town.
Sure. I get it. I like
That's
it.
not East.
So in this, you are going to be playing Rolled West with the skull element. I,
Oh my god!
as soon as I said it, my brain locked up. That's all I can think of. That's why I'm sticking with it. It's Skull and Rolled West mashed
Well,
together.
You have to explain because I've not played Rolled West.
Right. So it's a roll and write version of Gold West. You are rolling dice to get your resources each turn rather than doing the Mancala to get it out.
Mm-hmm.
So you roll the dice. Those are what you have available, and you can mark stuff like you can in regular Gold West.
Okay.
So
that's how the welcome to fits in there. 'Cause
Yeah.
it makes it that.
that
okay.
roll and write kind of thing.
Okay, so we're skull coming.
So with the skull element, there is a secretive version of the resources that you're working up. So you have a public one and a hidden one.
Okay.
And you are trying to make sure you are on top of a given one. From the beginning of the game, you're saying, I am betting I'm going to be the top one in the gold. And so, like, it's like a hidden bid that you're making at the beginning.
Okay.
That's really all it is. You're doing that extra bid, and if you meet your self-proclaimed goal, you get extra points at the end of the game.
Reminds me of Downforce.
Okay. So you're not.
like, betting on who's going to
So there's
Oh,
no
yeah,
sort of
yeah.
elimination or anything like. in
No, there's
Skull?
no lives or anything like because this will be slightly longer than a game of Skull, so I don't
Okay.
want people sitting out.
Okay. Okay. All right, Philip, you ready?
Okay, so in my Welcome to Skull West, you are. It's a flip and fill. You're writing you're drawing your town on your board, and there will always be elements of items that can't go next to each other.
Okay.
So that would be your bust part of when you flip and all of a sudden it's what's the bad thing in Skull?
The skull.
The skull. Yeah.
skull.
So whatever we designate to be like the skull
Coal.
pops coal. So that
Yeah.
pops up
Or
and
just
then
rocks.
it's like or
Oh,
just
yeah.
rock or something not gold, not silver.
Yeah.
That pops up. You're like, now I got to put that somewhere and try to not build any good stuff near it because that'll like decrease
Ah.
the purity of the minerals that you're currently mining out of the ground.
Philip.
I have an idea that would even make that better. Can I, like-
Yeah.
So the press your luck, change it to be where you flip cards to draw on your whiteboard,
Mhm.
but you can keep flipping to draw more on there, and if you draw more, you'll get more points. But if you draw the coal, you have to erase everything you just drew.
Oh.
That's actually a
would
good
you-
addition.
Yeah, I like that a lot. But how would you know what you've just added?
You'd have to.
I mean, you
there'd
can-
have to be.
Well, no, it's like
well, I mean, because
Railroad
the
Ink,
cards would be like
Oh,
right there in
true,
front of
true.
you.
and also
still.
Railroad
Yeah.
Ink, you like number them
Uh-huh.
in the corners.
That's what is that like a legitimate rule?
And
or is
also
that
you could flip until you bust, and then
And then draw.
draw what was ever.
Man, I like that.
So Philip wins.
Philip, you are a winner. I really
Oh,
liked
wow.
your games. Here, I'm gonna give you 3 coins.
Gonna put you in touch with
Oops.
Matt with some game design.
That was really good. I liked that a lot. Let's design that. Colin, let's design that. I really like that
That's
idea.
Don't.
No, I
I'll
stole
give
that.
Philip plenty of credit.
It was SimCity.
Wait, what?
In the like tips and tricks of how to make a very good city in
Yeah.
SimCity, it was like, oh yeah, don't build your residential stuff directly in the middle of the industrial area. And it's like
That was
keep-
reminding me of Suburbia when you get like the one thing that's like don't build like the trash
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the,
thing. It's like
the landfill.
you don't want stuff to be around it
Mhm.
and stuff.
the airports too. You don't
That
want
one.
The
residential near it.
projects.
That was good. Thanks,
All right,
guys.
fun game.
All right. Any final comments?
I made mine.
You guys were good sports. Thank you.
All right. So that wraps up this week's episode. And I actually have more to say on here now. Because, like I said, if you want to watch us live, we record every other Wednesday. Boardsandswords.com/live has the schedule, and it has all the links to the various platforms. You're like, well, I don't like Facebook. Well, we stream on YouTube and Twitch as well.
Yeah.
So you're bound to use one of those platforms.
You're bound to use one of those. And if you like this show, you got to check out our other you got to check it out. You seriously got to check it out. It's called The Dirtbags of Holding. That's where we play some of the best made RPGs that are out there, and some of the worst made RPGs out there.
I've heard.
Yeah, but it's normally our goal to just completely screw them up.
All right. So if you like this show, you can email us comments and questions at feedback@boardsandswords.com. You can follow us on Instagram at Boards and Swords Pod or on Facebook at facebook.com/boardsandswordspod. And you should also follow our individual accounts. I'm Cindy Pastorius on Twitter and Instagram.
I am Colecakes196 in both of those locations.
You can find me. I'm at Chris the Prof in both places.
And on Twitter, I am Phil the Dirtbag.
So we are also part of the Dice Tower Network. You can go to dicetowernetwork.com and find all sorts of other gaming podcasts. And the network is supported a lot by Cool Stuff Inc., which has awesome gaming deals all the time. Go to coolstuffinc.com. Check out the awesome deals they got.
And thank you for listening. Once again, you can go to patreon.com/boardsandswords to help support the show. And otherwise, we'll be back in 2 weeks with another show, except for the fact that we will be back, if you want to watch live, we'll be back next week because Thanksgiving and all that. But regardless, in the meantime, remember that every gamer has a story. Romero what?
Oh my gosh.
Waka, 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 waka.
Cool.
It's over.
Yay.
I was watching one of those Mario Maker videos where they took a boatload of the really long spinning flame spires and made it look like a Pac-Man chasing after Mario.